What should I do if my client talks too much? Hi, I'm Louise Fouché from OTGrow, and in this YouTube channel, we discuss tools, tips, and techniques to make you an expert group facilitator, one that will bring lasting shifts and changes in your clients. So we've at part 5 of our series on what should I do when my client talks too much. Those of you that are joining us for the first time today, I encourage you go and have a look at some of the other tips and techniques that I have offered, things that you can do very practically in when clients talk too much in your group. Those of you that have been following, I'd love to hear which of all the techniques that we have offered so far you have seen has had the biggest impact for you and on the group. And maybe give us a story or an example. I'd love to hear how it is changing the way that you are facilitating. And nothing does that as beautifully as when you have an experience that just shows you how wonderful these techniques can work. So please pop down in the comments and tell me which of the tips and techniques that I've offered you has worked for you in the last couple of weeks. So this brings us actually to the last part of this series. And the last part is, or the last tip is, to try and see if it's the whole group that is almost talking too much. And again, it's not just an individual, but it's almost like the whole group is kind of superficial and stuck. And it's not generally what this group usually does. So generally the group really works well, but all of a sudden you come to a space and the group seems to be getting stuck in very superficial chit-chats, if I can put it that way. So then one thing to consider is the group coming up for air? Maybe my group has been so kind of heavy and we've had intense themes that we've discussed and goals we've had over the last couple of groups. And maybe my group is just needing to come up for air a little bit. Just have a fun group, just talk about superficial things, just live a little bit and not make everything so maybe serious or intense. And that is then something that you can pose to the group. Again, almost like process illumination. I've noticed that the group today is talking about very superficial things, which is unlike this group, and I wonder what that's about. So we're bringing in our process illumination. Maybe the group is trying to avoid something, and that can come out. Sure, no, we know this is where we need to go, but it's quite scary. And then the group is engaging, there's a dialogue around that, and the group can decide how to go forward around whatever theme they are avoiding. Or the group might say, we just want to today just do something lighthearted and something fun. We haven't done that for a while. We're just coming up for air. We just want to just be present without having it to be something deep and dark. And so then that is something again with process illumination that you've brought to the fore. And how are you then going to adapt the goal that you had for the group? And to say, feel free to say, okay, great, let's go with this. This is the group's need. Let's do something playful and superficial. And I use the word superficial very lightly here because what may seem superficial is really what the group needs, and no need is superficial. I remember one group that we had was where we just played. People remembered their childhood games, and everybody in the group had a turn to show us one of their childhood games, and we played. And the group just loved it. And they said at the end it was wonderful to just play again. And they don't know when last they actually laughed so much. It was a group of clients with anxiety and depression. And so again, using process illumination to find out what is this chit chat about? Is it avoidance? And then we need to unpack it a little bit. Or is it a different need that has arisen in the group? And then we facilitate that, and that changes our goal to be able to meet this playfulness, this lightheartedness that is needed in the group. So I hope this series has helped you to be able to realize there's a lot of different things that you can do when your clients or your group talks too much, and that it'll help you to navigate those spaces and try the different techniques. If you have found that this series has given you valuable tips and techniques, ones that you have already seen when you've implemented them has brought a change to the way you facilitate, I would encourage you to subscribe and to press the notification button so that we can bring more quality tips for you to ensure that you become an expert group facilitator. And in the meantime, happy facilitation.